Hello everyone and welcome back. So today we are going to discuss about a data builder option in SAP Datasphere. Data builder in SAP Datasphere is important because it provides us a list of artifacts which is important from a data storage point of view as well as from analytical point of view. So SAP Datasphere has two modeling layers tailored for different user groups. The data layer is the area where data engineers can create their models with a technical approach, whereas the business layer is the area for business users who create their model using a more semantic approach. So, this allows business users to work independently from data engineers while still being able to collaborate and share data with them. So this is a system architecture, and here you can see you have a data builder layer and a business builder layer. So these are the list of sources which are connected to your SAP data sphere. So we have SDI, we have data marketplace, we have OpenSQL schemas, then we have ETL tools and so on. So from different sources, uh, via connections, your data sphere is receiving the data, and then you have the remote tables or flows or local tables which lies within the data builder layer, and those data will also be used by the business builders using more semantic approach. So this is more on data engineering level, like how we want to perform the ETL and store the data, and if we want to use that data for any analytical model or machine learning or artificial intelligence purposes, or to feed any external system, so those will come under data builder. But in terms of having a business entities, how the consumption model will be designed and having the perspectives, so those things will come under business builder. So this session we are just having the overview of the system architecture, but once we will dig into more details about each artifacts of the data builder and each artifacts of the business builder, then we will discuss like what is perspective, what is consumption models, and so on. Okay. So moving to the data builder. So data builder offers a collection of editors to create artifacts in the data layer. And those are table editors. So table is basically where you store your data. So you can create a table with a list of columns of which you can also assign what will be the keys of that table, what will be the nature of that table, whether it's a dimension table, a relational table, or a fact table. So you can also select the type of the table, which is also known as semantic usage. Then we have a graphical view editor. So graphical view editor is basically where you can create a view using multiple table joins. So for example, if you have multiple tables and you want to have a view by connecting all those tables using inner join, left outer join, or right outer join, or any of the joins, then you can use this graphical view editor option. Then we have SQL view. SQL view is like, it is also a view similar to graphical view, but instead of a graphical representation, in the graphical representation you need to just drag and drop and do minimum coding, but in SQL you need to write the entire code to join the tables. So both are the same in SQL code, because this is a coding where you can write SQL code. So this provides you more flexibility in terms of complexity. If you have more complex joining condition, then you can use SQL coding. But if it is straightforward, you have the joining conditions, and then you can use graphical view editor. Then we have entity relationship editor, where we can create relationship between different entities within the business area. So this is also we will discuss later on when we will be creating the entity relationship. Then we have analytic model. So analytic model is basically, it should contain at least one key figure or measure, we can say, and the dimension. So this is used for analytical purposes. So using an analytic model, you can create a report and a dashboard in your SAP Analytics Cloud. And then we have a data flow. Data flow is basically used um, uh, to update the data from one table to another. Okay, so that is the purpose of the data flow. We will see like what options are available when designing a data flow later on. Then we have intelligence lookup. So this is required if you want to look up some data from another table while updating your data. Then it's a kind of like in Excel, you can say, if we write a lookup function. Similarly, in any of the coding, you also write a lookup function like select from this table, and then you read that table to derive those required fields. So SAP Datasphere provides an intelligent lookup option to use a graphical representation, and there you can design your lookup. Then you have a replication flow editor. So replication flow editor is help you to replicate the data from your multiple sources to your SAP data sphere. So maybe you can create one a replication flow editor is basically required if you want to replicate your data from multiple sources connected to your data sphere. So if you want to replicate the data to your data sphere, then you can use a replication flow. So replication flow is also very useful in case you have created a persistent layer in your SAP data sphere where you don't want to do any kind of a transformation, but you simply want a snapshot of your source system. So you want to copy or replicate the data from your source system in your SAP data sphere as is, and then later on top of that layer, you want to do whatever transformation you need, then you can use the replication flow. And then the final component or the artifact is the task chain. Task chain is needed to have this list of artifacts as a chain, and you can schedule these activities based on your business needs. So for example, if you have a list of artifacts which needs a list of activities to be performed while the end-to-end data flow, so that you can use as a task chain editor. Okay, so this is similar to process chain in SAP BW. If someone watching this video is pretty much handy with SAP BW, so this is similar to process chain in SAP BW. So, for example, you have created two, three data flows, and then you also have intelligence lookup, and then you have so first you have the replication flow, and then you have the data flow, then you have the intelligence lookup, and finally it is loading the data to the analytical model. So these have multiple steps. So all those steps you can include as a chain, and then you can schedule it in a sequential manner so that all those activities which are dependent on each other will execute in the required sequence. Okay, so Data Builder offers more features in addition to the editors, like enabling currency conversion. So you can also perform currency conversion in the Data Builder. You can also import data and artifacts through CSV files, through objects from CSN or JSON files. You can also import entities from the different sources, and also remote tables from different sources. Then you can also perform mass deployment and deletion of artifacts, and you can also share your artifacts and show the impact and lineage analysis for artifacts. Lineage analysis is basically if, like, you are using, you have created many objects, and if you want to see the dependency, like how a particular object is being used, so then you can see, like, from where it is taking the data, and from to which targets it is sending the data. So that lineage analysis helps to understand. So it is similar to where used list in SAP GUI, like SAP HANA or SAP BW. Okay, now we will move to the demo session. Okay, so currently I am at the home screen of SAP Datasphere. So if you click on the expand navigator bar, you will be able to see the data builder option. So this is the data builder, and when I go to the data builder, I'll be able to see all the artifacts that we have just discussed. So these are the components of data builder. So as we discussed, we have table, we have graphical view, SQL view, entity relationship model, analytical model, data flow, replication flow, transformation flow. Then we have intelligence lookup, and we have a task chain. Okay, so to have a quick demo, we will see like what options are available over here. So here, let me increase the resolution a little bit. Okay, so here you can see we have an option. So we have an option to add these stuff, and we also have an option to import. So we, in this session, we will be mostly um, discuss on these part. So we have an option to import CSV files that we have discussed, objects like CSN and JSON files, entities and remote tables, and we can also validate our remote tables. So we will discuss with import CSV file. Sorry, we'll go to source, and here we have sales order data, for example, or sales order item. So we'll select the required CSV file, and then we will click on open. Okay, and then here, if your CSV file is having the header name at the first row, then you should check this option. Otherwise you can uncheck this. So because my CSV file has the first row as the as the column header, so I have selected it. Then you can do it as auto detect, or you can select whether it's a comma or semicolon delimited CSV file. So I will keep it as auto detect and try to upload. Okay, so the upload is done. A new window will open with all the list of columns. Okay, so here you can see what are the columns. So we have the sales order ID, the item, the product ID, the note ID, currency, amount, and so on. So here you can see this is the integer, and this is the decimal format. So um, uh, this prefix tells you the format. When it is AA, that means it's a character or a string. This 22 is basically for integer, and then 1.23 is for decimal. Okay, so we have successfully loaded the data, and we are fine with the names as well. But if you want to change the name of the column, you can rename it from here. Or if you want to set any of the column as key, you can set it as key. So for example, for the sales order, The sales order ID is a key, and sales order item is also a key. So these two columns are the key for this table. So I have set it as a key, and this is it. Then you can deploy. So click on deploy, and if you want to change the name of your table, then you can give the business name. So this is the business name which you can give. In the business name you can use spaces. Okay, in the technical name you can use underscore, or you can just simply write like this. Okay, so this is the technical name I want to give, and then you click on deploy. Okay, it will take a few seconds to deploy the table. So this is this is very useful if you don't want to create your table manually. So if this is a new requirement, and let's suppose your table has 100 fields, okay, and you don't want to go into create table option and then um, enter the name of the table manually, then select the data type and all. Instead, you can use a file, CSV file upload, and the system will automatically create the table. So this will save a lot of time for you. So here you can see the sales order table is being created. So let's open that. Let me close this window. Okay, so this is the quick way to create a table, and here we can see like by default it has what semantic uses it has taken. So here you can see by default it has taken as relational data set, because in most of the cases or majority of the cases the semantic usage will be relational data set. But we also have an option like if it is a text table, if this table is for hierarchy or hierarchy with directory, or analytical data set or fact or dimension, then we can choose it accordingly. But in majority of the cases it will be a relational data set. So that is why it is automatically selected. And then here you can see the data type has been assigned automatically. So this is a system driven data type. I haven't done anything here because we have just simply loaded the CSV file, and based on the file it has assigned the a specific data type. But if in case you want to change the data type, you can do that as well. So like if you don't want string 5000, but you assume that the string length will be more or less, then you can click on it and then you can change the length. You can reduce it, you can increase it. If something is not like a string type, you can change it as well. Okay, so you can change the string type as well. Okay, so this is quite straightforward. Then associations, as of now, we don't want to discuss on the association. We will come on the association later on when we will be creating the table from scratch. Okay. So these all options we will discuss when we will create the table. But this was to demonstrate how simply we can upload a CSV file or JSON file, and it will create a table automatically just by clicking on the deploy. And then coming to the table, you can change the required data type or the name as per your need. Okay, let's go back to the data builder. So as we can see how simple it is to upload a CSV file and create a table through that CSV file in SAP Datasphere. So you can create your tables using CSN or JSON file as well, or you can also import entities from your connections, and also remote tables. Okay, so once you create your table, maybe you have multiple sources, so you can use multiple CSV files to create multiple tables. Then you can use a graphical join to join those tables, which will create a view, and you can use that view in your analytical model to create your analytical model. And once you will create your analytical model, this analytical model you can use to create your report and dashboard in SSC. So that we will see in our later sessions. So this was it for today. We wanted to give you an overview of SAP Datasphere data builder, and what are all the data builder options available, what are the artifacts or the components of SAP data builder, and how we can use a CSV to create a table. Okay, so if you like the content, please like this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please put your questions in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe the channel, because I'm working very hard um, to create a simple and easy to understand videos related to all the new products or services provided by SAP or Azure or AWS. So keep watching my video and have a nice day.